I'm not sure I'll ever get to use this footage because there's music playing in the background, which YouTube will often catch on copyright. But yeah, Blues win over the Hurricanes, 30 points to 20, 3 tries apiece. Aotearoa Black, the man with those kicks, 15 points I think it was. Hell of a performance from him, you know, when he's got Bowden at fullback. What's a game, man. Awesome crowd. And as you can see, they have let people on the field after the game, so that's pretty bloody cool, man. It's one thing I've been moaning about how when I was a kid, they used to let us on the field. And
Can we be in your YouTube video?
hey bro, how's it going?
Blues!
Two Cents Rugby.
How's it going, bro? Yeah, so everyone's in a good mood. As I mentioned, the crowd's pretty into it. I think 43,000 people. In terms of the game itself, oh man, I'll see if I can get through my notes. Heartbeat is still kind of going, if you know what I mean. But yeah, Hurricanes penalty, 3-0. But sure enough, Blues are the one who hit back with that try. What was it? Clark. Big gap for Rico. Big gap, and I was sitting kind of behind the sticks, so the cheap seats, but I could see the hole he ran into, and I'm glad he ran into it. Yeah, and Clark, who had tons of run meters in this game, I think 110, he scored the try, so 7-3, Blues in the lead. But then that bloody Dane Coles, man, him and his tries in the corner, that's just kind of what he does. Sure enough, he puts the hammer down. You can see Bodie going for him, but Dane Coles is a pretty big boy. I think Knock was there as well. They couldn't quite get him into touch. He's got those rugby league style skills. And yeah, sure enough, he got it down. The TMO had a look at it, but it was, yeah, it was all good. So yeah, Canes back in the lead after that one. The way that the Canes guys kind of gave Bowden a bit of a pat on the head and whatnot, yeah, fair enough. They had to get that out of their system, so I'm not going to blame them. Not going to blame them for a bit of that, and he seemed to take it in pretty good spirit. What else have we got? Faiane, his try, great passing in the build-up from the Blues. They really showed some good temperament. It's not like that Blues team of old who would, you know, do all the hard work and then stuff it up right at the end. They actually managed to convert after all that pressure that they put on, which again was fantastic to see. And I mean, I'm not getting ahead of myself, but maybe this is kind of the start of something a bit newer for the Blues. Still early days, man, but I'm in a good mood. What can I say? I've had a beer or two, even though the queues were horrendous and the beer was expensive. So yeah, 14-8 to the Blues. Canes went out of it though. Lamb got a try, 26 minutes, down on the left wing after a scrum, which was messy, one phase, and they just had too many numbers. It was pretty poor from the Blues. I don't think they'll be happy. I don't think they'll be happy with that one. There was a Mexican wave going after 36 minutes, which was a bit weird because I thought in the first half, I mean, maybe it was the first half of the first half, the rugby on display, I better get away from this music, it was pretty good. So the fact that people felt the need to go Mexican wave, maybe they're just getting into the game. Again, it's the atmosphere, so I'm not going to complain, but I know the purists, and I could hear them around me complaining about everyone to watch the rugby. So either way, man. Half-time, Blues, the penalty count was the killer. It was 9 penalties conceded to the Hurricanes 3, and that's, I think, when you look. Oh, good man, good man. Yeah, when lost my train of thought. When you look at the stats, like Canes had the territory 54%, but I think largely from the boot, because when you look at the run meters, Blues 229 and the Canes were 148. Second half, maybe a bit uglier, but I'm still thinking it's a good game. Hurricanes had advantage after a bunch of phases, didn't really seem to go anywhere, and that was maybe a bit of the story of some of their attack in that, maybe they're going to get us off the pitch here, in that second half. The Hurricanes attack just seemed a bit kind of lackluster and kind of going nowhere. Jackson Garden Bishop tried to slot a drop goal from like 40 odd meters and it was short. So nothing doing with that one. 49 minutes, Papali'i kick through from Vaiane on the left wing. It's another try for the Blues. And at that point I'm starting to believe, like, I mean, what was the score for that one? 21-13. Great conversion from Aotearoa Black. I'm thinking, yeah, it's going to happen. Was that TJ Whānau who just walked past me? 54 minutes, Black kicks a penalty. 58 minutes, Black kicks another penalty. It's 27-13. TJ ends up at 10 on 60 minutes, and at that point, from what I heard on the radio, the ref was like, I ain't talking to you anymore, TJ. I don't know what he'd done, but he didn't like the way TJ was talking to him. So, yeah, that's an interesting one. I'm not sure what I guess the ref's got the rights to say who he wants to talk to or not, even if TJ is co-captain. But, yeah. The Canes get warned for too many penalties. Barrett misses a drop goal. Blues kick another penalty, make it 30 points to 13. 70 minutes, Almoa does give Bowden Barrett a big bump off. And Barrett had a couple of times like that where he's up against the Canes hookers, but he's shown his commitment to his new team, I guess. Eventually the Hurricanes get a try. Booth from like 1 meter out, but it was too little too late. And the Blues could have scored one last one. We are getting kicked off, so I'm going to wrap it up. Aotearoa Black, top star, 15 points. Caleb Clark, 110 run meters, 6 defenders beaten, and a try. This is 2 cents, man. I'm going to go home and see if I have to re-record this video, but cheers, guys.